She visited California, and she just gets on me all the time. And she could literally say, "You're the worst person ever," and nothing would bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. It used to be she presses my buttons because she installed them. I said all this thing. Nope, not anymore. So she comes out, and I took her to see Music Man.
Oh, wow.
On the big screen from 1962 at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. So we get there, and she goes, "I remember the days you're a big Hollywood star and you'd send a limo for your mother, but now here I'm standing in line. I have to stand in line. I used to be VIP."
Hey, everybody, this is Jeff Allen. Welcome to Who Gave Jeff Allen a Podcast. We are looking for you. We have no idea where you're at, but we're going to find you, and we are going to punish you. If not me, the rest of the world for having me on this thing here. What else is going on? Real quick, Nordic Wave, cold plunge. We're still looking to sell one. It's been weeks, but I just took a cold plunge today. I hit golf balls this morning, got a little stiff and sore, sat in the cold water, got out, and I'm still stiff and sore. Not exactly a rousing sales pitch, but no, actually, I'm 70 years old, for God's sakes. I'm going to be stiff and sore the rest of my life. But anyway, cold plunge, Nordic Wave, go there, Jeff 150, save $150. Anyway, today's guest, I can't wait for this. I've been waiting for this, man, for a while. Craig Shoemaker, my God, we're peers, man. We started pretty close to much the same time. Today's guest, I'm going to read this because it's been written, and it's better than anything I can come up with off the top of my head since I have very little brain left. Is a stand-up comedy legend. I love that. Don't you know you live long enough, you become a legend?
Somebody said that?
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
With a career spanning more than 40 years. You probably know him as the Love Master. We'll get into that because I was always curious of where that came from.
Yeah.
How do you get into that? But Craig's done just about everything: stand-up, movies, TV, radio, writing, speaking, and somehow survived Hollywood with a soul intact. That in itself is a major accomplishment. He was named Comedian of the Year at the American Comedy Awards, appeared on The Tonight Show. Was it back with Jay or with Johnny?
That's the wrong credit. I didn't do that show.
You didn't do The Tonight Show?
I don't know where that came from.
Oh, wow. So good. You and I both.
The Late Show, but not that show. No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great because I've had people come to me after my show and tell me, I saw you on The Tonight Show. I absolutely loved it. I go, you didn't see me. And they go, no, we did. They argue with me. I'm telling you. I said, you know what? It's not one of those credits. It's not like I saw you at a brothel,
right.
And then you want to deny it. Well, it wasn't me.
It used to mean something, though. Yeah. It doesn't even mean much anymore. You can have any credits. I think they should put credits on how you became a comedian. Like his father left when he was 1 day old. His mother belly dances, high school graduation party. It's all true stories. Yeah. Here he is, Craig Shoemaker. I mean, that's the stuff.
Well, then we'll just can this because obviously it's full of crap. Were you on Parks and Recreation?
Yes, all the rest of the stuff I'm sure is true.
And Scream 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Played the professor.
How many Screams are there now?
There's 7 now. I lived, and he promised me that I would be in more because but he died. Wes Craven died.
Oh, Wes Craven.
Yeah, the director died, yeah. So. Yeah. Unbelievable.
She's still belly dancing?
She doesn't belly dance anymore. She's a little past that. But
can she do the moves though?
She hula. She was something else. But she was a divorcee, so all my friends wanted her. She bought us a keg.
Isn't that funny?
For my graduation.
Last time you heard the term divorcee?
Right?
Yeah.
My dad had his own cult. He ended up with a cult of women. He had 14 women. He called his harem. And he ran mule rides in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. That's what he did.
You're serious?
Yeah. My dad was quite a character. And talk about the Love Master. One time, he was an entrepreneur, which is a French word for scam artist. So he always had a new scheme, usually pyramid. He says, Barbara.
That was the heyday of the pyramid.
Oh, yeah, full of brushes. He started as a full brush man. And then he calls, he goes, this strike me dead. Barbara, if you want your child support check, which he never gave ever once, he dangled the carrot. Invite your big-breasted friends over. I'm selling bras. He had bras meets Amway. right? So I hadn't seen him in years, and there he is in the living room.
Preston. Now you got friends.
He goes, no flatsies.
Now she's got
no flatsies. No flatsies. I'm with the big ones.
now she's got friends that weren't invited, and they're ticked off. Why wasn't I invited?
Right cup size.
Well, your breasts aren't big enough.
Yeah. So there, I'm looking in the living room. I'm like 7 years old, and there he is, smoking a pipe with my Aunt Barbara, Aunt Fran, Aunt Dottie. They weren't real aunts, but there they were in bras. He's there. Turn around, Dottie. Show how it lifts and separates. Don't be shy. It's just you women and me. This is the 3-class model for the full-figured woman. This is only one of his jobs. And then he ended up in the mule business. And he had a harem. One of my great moments in stand-up was I went back to the Poconos where he lives, and I was playing Caesars, like a big, Caesars, Poconos. Wow. They owned all these hotels, and it was a honeymoon. It was like the blue-collar honeymoon capital of the Northeast. Remember, they had heart-shaped pools in the room?
Oh, yeah.
Not a tub, a pool, and big champagne glass jacuzzis 10 feet high. So anyway, the guy's giving me a tour. Oh, this is such a classic. And I hadn't seen my dad in years. And he has this harem of women. But I knew all about it. I was in the mules with him for a few minutes.
Those were the bullet bras, like the.
Oh, you're back to the bras. No, I'm on to the mules. I'm on to the mules.
If you're walking in the harem.
Oh, the harem. No, it wasn't like that kind of harem.
Okay.
It wasn't a chic. He had a cowboy hat now. He's a city guy from Philadelphia. All of a sudden, a big belt buckle and a cowboy hat. Mules. Giant mules, by the way. These weren't little ponies. I'm Rich Jenny. I can curse. You said that, right?
Yeah.
Remember Rich Jenny?
Yeah.
I took him there, and we're sneaking in late at night, and they had sleeping bags for us. We were doing a tour of the Poconos. And he called himself the king of the Poconos. And whoever was the best that day, whether she built the fence the best, whoever, they got to sleep with him in his room. The king of the Poconos. So there's an empty sleeping bag, and all the other women are out on the floor on sleeping bags with goats and everything. And Rich Jenny, I said,
"This is a movie, man."
I said, "Shh." I said, "Jenny, you're gonna wake up my father." And he goes, "Shoo, fuck your old man," and the mule he rode in on. I'll never forget. Then we went on a mule ride. Me, him, and Glenn Farrington went up. He goes, "Do you have any burros that Jesus rode on?" Because these were like 18 hands high, gigantic mules.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so I go back. I moved to California.
How much money was he making off of this?
No, he wasn't making. It was all went to him. It was his harem. He had a mother daughter. It was. So anyway,
wow. Well, actually,
I'm playing at Poconos, and the guy's giving me a tour of the place.
You're probably lucky he didn't raise you.
Oh, of course I am.
Yeah.
One summer I almost lived with him.
But then again, you could have grown that mule business.
He used to say to me, "I'm the king of the Poconos. You get over that comedy crap, you get part of my empire." I'm not going to be prince of the Poconos because these broads have heart. They got no teeth. I require them. So now I do the show. Oh, no. First, before I do this, the guys give me a tour of the place. He goes, with that Shamokin, Pennsylvania accent. He goes, over here, Craig, you're from Hollywood, right? Oh, have you ever heard of quoits? We play quoits here. You know what quoits are, Craig? Oh, you got your racquetball? You play racquetball out there in California. And he goes, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh my gosh, there's A.J. Shoemaker and his harem. What's that nut doing here?" And I got to go, "That's my dad."
Oh my God!
And I hadn't seen him in years. He walks up, he steals my cheese tray, my complimentary cheese. He goes, "Oh, take this to the girls at the ranch. Duty loves Gouda." He takes my cheese tray. So then I do my show, and it went really well. And he signed autographs afterwards. As I'm signing them, they have the photos ready. He's over here recruiting people for mule rides. He goes, "Tell him who the real love master is. He's nothing. Sign him up for a mule ride." He's signing people up for the mule ride on a clipboard. Next day, 7 in the morning. I never lived with the guy. I get a knock on the door. "Come on, they're all waiting for you." He signed all these people up with a guarantee that I would be on and we would tell dad's son stories that never happened on this mule ride. So I had to do one shift, the next shift, and go with it. There's the comedian. "Remember the time with the crabs down the shore?" That's how he laughed. Yeah, that's my dad. I mean, he was just really out there and obviously self-obsessed. And he just, both my parents, it's like.
How'd your mom hook up with him?
You don't use that word, right? Tell him. You don't use hook up.
Well, all right. Get together, meet.
He was like a handsome guy, and everybody wanted. My mom felt like she had a prize with this guy. She had a prize, all right. He was not good to her. But she was funny, though. When he died 2 years ago, I was in charge of his stuff, and I had him buried with a Navy burial. when they first got together, he was in the Navy. They were in Hawaii together, and those were kind of good times for her. So all up until his funeral, he was a bastard. He was horrible to us, Craig. Don't you remember? He was terrible. He never paid a dime of child support. Your mother, she always talks in the third person, your mother had to raise you on her own. Back in a secretary's salary, I couldn't believe it. We didn't know where to live. He wouldn't send a dime. So I swear, I couldn't believe. So we get there, and she shows up at the funeral. There's like 7 of us. And then is it, would anybody like to speak? And she gets up. I'm going, what's she going to do? I thought she was going to slam him. She goes, it's her first words out of her mouth. Al was a wonderful guy. We're all looking at each other. She's out of her mind. My mom's out of her mind. Yeah. So she goes, I remember we lived in Oxnard, California, Port Hueneme, and we had a place there. He was in the Navy. It was amazing times. And she goes on, and she didn't say one bad word, all good words. And afterwards I said, Mom, what was that? You were cursing him on the way to the funeral. He said, and she goes, I'm Irish. We can't say anything bad about the dead. She is such a classic. One time I won this big award. My Love Master movie won the film festival in L.A. Big, 15,000 people. I'm backstage. I'm going, who am I going to call? Call my mom. I want my mom to be proud of me. And Robin Williams was there, and she loves celebrities. So I said, Robin, I'm going to call my mother back in Philadelphia. Will you talk to her? Oh, the Love Master's mother. Oh, yes, I will. Oh, put her on the phone. Does she have a big... Anyway, so I said, oh, great. I go, ring. Hello? I go, Mom. Guess what? I'm standing here with Robin Williams who's going to talk to you. And my film just won the Independent Film Festival of Los Angeles. Can you believe it? There's this pause. She goes, that's very nice, Craig. You know not to call me during Jeopardy. I got to go. Who is Anwar Sadat? Hangs up. And I turn to Robin. And she hung up on me. He goes, I understand. He understands. This is where we come from. So, yeah, it's not... I am writing a book. Because the stories, but the thing is, I don't know.
I'll buy it just for the chapter on the harem. I mean,
there's so much. There's so much.
Flush that out.
There's so much. I have.
That's a movie. I'm telling you, that's a movie.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of chapters in this book, and a lot of them have to do with him. And here's the thing. And maybe I'm going to ask you. I've always had a hard time telling any story about him on a comedy stage, so I've never done it. Really? Anytime I've wandered in there just slightly, they don't believe me. In a theater setting or a special, my special is going to be one side of the stage. It's called Still Standing Up. It's going to be me doing stand-up, last minute. I really know how to do that. Boom, 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 boom. You punch on. The other side of the stage is the vulnerable with a lav microphone, hands-free, on set pieces and things. Like talking about the really deep stuff, the pain that I went through to get to that guy. Yeah. The safe space, which is crazy. The comedy would be a safe space. Or anyone else in the world, if we weren't nuts, it's not a safe space. People are afraid of speaking in front of people, but that is my space. But over here, and I don't mind being vulnerable. Like even on this show, I don't mind telling these stories. But I've never been able to tell them with the proper vehicle. So I run back and forth to the different settings on the stage. Well, it's like a hybrid.
I learned to be vulnerable just talking about my alcoholism. And I really did confine it to marriage when I got sober. Mm-hmm. I didn't go deep into my parents or, And when I was writing...
Have you ever?
When I was writing the book, it was interesting.
A book is different too.
Well, when I was writing the book, the publisher kept pushing me to basically throw my parents under the bus. Really? And I said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not writing anything that if they were alive that they would read, and first of all, at least judge it as unfair.
Yeah.
Now, my dad was one of these guys that, unfortunately, I mean, if I had gone to my father halfway into my recovery and said, I forgive you, he would have said, for what? Mm-hmm. Not very self-aware on his role. And he called my wife white trash one night. He was drunk and he called her white trash.
Well, that he would know.
And then, of course, my joke to Tammy was, well, welcome to the family. He only calls people he loves. He only talks away the people he loves. She goes, not funny. So anyway, I called him up and I said, he also called her another word. But anyway, I called him up and I said, why would you do that? She was late for dinner. So what do you mean? She said she'd be there at 7. And I go, first of all, she did not say that. He goes, you weren't there. I go, I don't need to be there. I said, one of the things that drives me insane about my wife is she will not commit to a time. What time are you going to be there? I don't know, Jeff. Well, 6:30. I don't know, Jeff. 6:45. Just give me a ballpark. Between 6:30 and 7. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, when my dad said definitively, she said she'll be there at 7. I said, I guarantee you, she said she'll try. If you said 7, she said she'll try. And to her, that means I'll show up whenever I want. So anyway, and he said, I said, but why would you call it? Well, she was late. And I go, don't you think that was a little excessive? And he says, what are you talking about? I said, well, why didn't you empty, 6 slugs in her chest? Well, that'd be excessive. And I go, that's my point. I said, you lost a daughter-in-law for being late for dinner. As far as I'm concerned, she doesn't have to speak to you the rest of her life. That's on her. If she wants to forgive you, it's on her. Me, you're my dad. I'll forgive you. I don't have no problem.
Yeah.
Well, she was late. That's all he kept saying. She was late.
Yeah.
She was late. He could not get his head around that his reaction to her, it's
He justified the reaction.
well, he justified it. Absolutely.
They talk about it in the big book.
Yeah.
People justify things, rationalize all the time. And to me, that's one of the most important things I got out of being sober is you can find justifications or excuses for anything.
Absolutely.
But you can also find reasons to grow. And that's my choice.
Well, extending grace is the growth.
Yes, exactly right.
And I didn't get that till I came to my faith in Christ.
Yeah.
When I read the verse, you are to forgive as you have been forgiven.
Yeah.
When you accept Christ's grace, what he did on the cross, it is your obligation to extend grace to his creation. I mean, it's hard.
For they know not what they do.
That's it.
They don't know what they're doing. And it's just like I don't know what I'm doing or didn't know what I was doing.
And
When I was
I can't
certainly
think
in my
of
disease,
anybody-
I didn't know what I was doing, did I?
I've never met one human being that hasn't had to have grace extended to them. Not one.
No, never.
And my father was one of them. I mean, he got extended grace all the time by my mother.
I had the greatest situation happen with my mom where I was the opposite. I was tired. I was really said that she was a bad mom and she never said I love you and all of this. So I spent a few years never speaking to her. I didn't speak to her. I said, I'm clean. If I died tomorrow, she died, I'm clean, because I thought I made my amends and stuff like that. But amends is a living thing. It's not just, hey, I'm sorry, and then you move on and go with your same behavior again. So it was an amazing thing that happened. This is true grace. I was cleaning out the garage, and my wife at the time said, "Oh, she's coming out to, she's going to see." I said, "She never sees these two kids. She would see the kids from my other ex-wife who was accusing me of horrible things. Like she took her side, and that's another reason I couldn't stand my mom. I was like, why would you betray me like that?" Right. So I had all these reasons, these justifications for not speaking or for being angry and resentful. So I cleaned out the garage and I found these CDs from my radio show, What's Bugging Barb? And I started listening. I'm laughing. And I said, come on in here. The kids come in. We're all laughing at Nana. And that was the moment where Grace came in and said, radical acceptance, just being absolute acceptance of who she is. And I swear from that day forward, she came out. She visited this California, went to the farmer's market. She was as funny as ever. Her husband was going blind. He was blind, but he like hoards food, like samples at the farmer's market. And she would lie to him. It would say samples. And she would go, because he's blind, she goes, it says no samples, Sydney. And she would catcall us going, like, don't tell him. It says no samples. He's there with his hands out like Oliver, please, sir, I want some more. And she says, and so already, and I also got this. What a gift she gave me. Literally, my entire life is about laughter, and she gave me the funny. My father certainly didn't. Yeah. She gave me the funny. So I'm so grateful to her, and I've never spent one moment since that time in resentment. Not one moment. She'll start with me.
Isn't that a great place to be, though?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I have the best relationship. But I'll call her in an hour. I'm going to call her, and we have a great time. Yeah. She still gets on me for stuff. Still gets. As a matter of fact, I haven't dated. She said, how come you don't have a girlfriend? You're not turning funny now, are you? Turning funny. But she's just who she is. And I'm not going to change that. And I'm telling anybody watching this, if you get into acceptance of that person and realize you have your own character defects. You got your own flaws. Work on yourself only. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work, including lack of acceptance, including victimhood or whatever it was. I was blaming her. It doesn't happen anymore. And I want to do it with more people. That's the thing. I think I practice these principles in all my affairs with everyone, not only my mom. But what a blessing that I have my mom for these years where I can just enjoy her and have fun.
Well, what a blessing that she's still around for you to get to that place.
I know. And by the way, she'll kill me if I ever said her age, but you would not believe it. She looks young. I take her to my parties, my high school parties. She is.
No, you're 90.
No, did I say? But she still has that youthfulness and that health. She was always healthy. She had to be. Same here, because I'm the sole breadwinner, for my family. I have 4 kids. I have to always work. So I can't even get sick. So it's a mentality. She passed that mentality on to me too. So I have great health like she does. She visited California and she just gets on me all the time. And she could literally say, you're the worst person ever. And nothing would bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. Used to be, she presses my buttons because she installed them. I said all this thing. Nope, not anymore. So she comes out and I took her to see Music Man.
Oh, wow.
On the big screen from 1962 at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. So we get there and she goes, I remember the days you're a big Hollywood star and you'd send a limo for your mother. But now here I'm standing in line. I have to stand in line. I used to be VIP. And she goes, it's okay. I'm with my grandchildren. Little kids said, we're in line. She goes, a line? Your mother, I'm standing here. Your mother's standing here in the sunlight. Normally, back in the day, when you were somebody in Hollywood, you would have an escort for your mother. And we get the tickets. We get inside.
Yeah, it is. It's a bigger fall for the people around you than it is for you.
Oh yeah, I'm not even noticing it.
Yeah.
Then we get, and the tickets are way up there, really high up. And she goes, oh, this is very nice that I'm here. Wow, we're up awful high. I remember the days you'd have me in the 7th row in the middle. It's okay. I'm with my grandchildren. So we watched the movie. Shirley Jones was in the movie. Yeah. My mom's exact age. And she looks so gorgeous on the biggest screen in the world, by the way,
right.
Grauman's Chinese Theater. There, I was crying. It was such a beautiful movie, reminded me of the past. And then after the movie, we go downstairs. We're in the basement. We're walking to my car. And she says, Shirley Jones walks on stage. And she goes, oh, my God, there's Shirley Jones. I think I'm so far away, I need binoculars. It's okay. I'm with my grandchildren. So we go underneath. And she's walking slow to the car. I go, come on, let's get in the car. Is this as close as I'm going to get to Shirley Jones? I remember the days you knew everybody, Craig. You'd introduce me to the big stars. I don't know what happened to you. It's okay. I'm with my grandchildren. So I get a call. I go, follow me. She goes, what are you doing? I'm ready to go home. She's following me in the parking lot with my 2 kids. And she goes, oh, I'm on a wild goose chase, Craig. Come on. I'm older now. I can't stand for this. And we go into the hotel, open up the door, and there's Shirley Jones waiting for her.
Oh, how cool is that?
Wait, my mom flipped out. She starts shaking. She goes, hi, Shirley. I don't want to be a fangirl, but you're beautiful. That's the best.
Oh, my gosh.
So she got close to Shirley Jones. I delivered one more time.
Delivered. That's so cool,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love my mom. I mean, I spent years not, basically in resentment over what I think that she didn't do. She didn't act motherly. And the whole idea of motherly, fatherly, what is that anyway? It's some concept. It's a concept. It's not real. They're real people.
The understanding that I think comes with wisdom and age, gradually, but it comes with wisdom and age, is when you do your own work, you realize the flaws that you carry.
Yeah.
And we're going through some stuff within our family right now. Our 2 boys haven't spoken in 6 years together. And over stuff that happened, obviously 6 years ago between the 2 wives. Now I guarantee you, they could not either one of them remember what was exactly said.
Exactly right.
The feelings were hurt, and pride got kicked in, and we've realized that Tammy and I, all we have is prayer, and all we have is we're going to try to get them together June 22nd at the house. Tammy's 65th birthday, my 70th, and we're just going to have a nice party.
Just invite them both.
Well, they are invited,
One of them,
and both of them have said.
One of them won't go.
Well, both of them have said they'll come, and both of them said they'll be civil. And I said, well, I hope so. I mean, and what I really hope is that they remember. It's so interesting to me. I was watching something about. I think it was our sermon on Sunday with remembering and how we tend to forget. And we latch on to, it was during communion, to remember what Jesus said before they did communion. Remember this moment. Remember this.
Yeah.
So that's what communion is. You go back to a time where you remember of connecting with the Lord and Savior. But anyway, we tend to the pastor used as an example the golf. So it resonated with me because we tend to remember our bad shots. We tend to remember. We tend to connect ourselves to the score, our self-worth to the score. And people go, "How did you play?" All you do talk about are the bad shots, the ones you missed. You know, because you don't want to come off as bragging.
Yeah,
you know
that stays with us.
It is. It's a false sense of humility. Yeah. But I try to get my kids. I just want them to remember how close they were growing up.
Yeah,
I didn't speak to my brother for a decade. Over a decade, because of he was just wrapped up in crack cocaine and
well, that's a different circumstance.
Well, it was very different, and he broke my nose twice in fights.
I think silent treatment is one of the most evil things. I think it's evil.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I think it's a horrible thing to do to people.
Yeah, I couldn't. I wouldn't put up with it. I would just keep
especially if
talking.
you don't express it.
Yeah,
the reason. I have a bunch of silent treatment I'm dealing with.
Really?
My oldest son, my second son who's adopted, and my ex-wife, my current ex-wife, not as much, but I don't really care to speak to her after I've discovered all these horrible things. She joined a cult. They say you marry your mother. I married my father.
Well, we do marry. Psychologists say we marry one of our parents.
Yeah, well, yeah. I usually hear the woman, but
usually one we have the most issues with.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how. Yeah, I guess she is like him. She got into multi-level marketing, and she's a thief and all that kind of stuff. So, he was a con artist.
Does she have a harem?
She's a con artist. She doesn't have a harem, but her guru has a bunch of women. They say, "Get my sovereign freedom. Get out of your golden." She called it a golden cage. I'd like to be in a golden cage for like a day. I would love to be taken care of for a day. It's impossible for me to do it, but I'd like to try. One day, I'm just to take care of you completely, give you a little money, But I'm always I'm too codependent. But I have a bunch of people that don't speak to me. My sister doesn't speak to me, and she's sober. And I said to her, I write to these people.
Is this over politics?
No,
because we have.
I've had that happen.
We have people in our life that.
Oh, yeah. But I have the reverse story on that one. My friend Anthony that I grew up with, I was a liberal and he was, conservative. And I was like, I'm done with him. And I was happy to be done with him. And then when I got stopped, we are so happy that we love one another. We express it all the time. It's one of my most grateful moments of my life is our repairing of that relationship. Yeah. It was over nothing. We had to talk about what it was about. I said, I don't remember that.
Right.
It's always something like, I don't remember saying that to you. And, I got to say, I'm sorry. And now we have a great relationship. It's wonderful to repair. The silent treatment people, my opinion, they're afraid of the truth. If they know that you know the truth, and the truth which defies their narrative and their story that they're telling other people, like my sister's probably telling her sponsor all these things about me, but I don't get to go, hey, that's not true.
Well, I know a writer here in Nashville. Her sister would go to these survivors of molestation groups. She was never molested.
Yeah.
She just tells the story. And they were eating dinner one night, and then one of the siblings said, will you stop it? Stop it. You were never, she goes, they don't know that.
Yeah.
She just felt special.
Yeah.
She got treated differently. I mean, and again, I'm not belittling legit, but there's a lot of this victimhood going on.
And when they remain a victim from it. I told you I was kidnapped by a pedophile
because you know the truth.
I would have the right to have resentment towards the guy that did that. I have zero. He does not hold the keys to my prison. He's not going but her, I don't know even what she's making up. My son, same thing. I don't know what he's making up. I don't know what they're all making up. Right. What their narrative is. but it's mean and evil. Like my sister, her son got married and invited my son that doesn't speak to me, but didn't invite me. You know, like that kind of,
Yeah.
And she's sober. So I wrote to her, I said, do you know resentments are the number one cause of drinking?
And early death.
And you resent me like this to the point where you give silent treatment and won't explain it, to tell me what I did. Let me know so I can apologize or whatever I do and make amends. No, will not tell me. Silent treatment. She does not know her niece. She met her once when she was a baby, and that's it. She doesn't even know, it doesn't send them a card or anything. And then a lot of those people that follow that pattern, they have to find strangers to affirm them. That's what they do. But the one thing I have to realize, and I do have to pray for them, is they have a problem.
Right.
Narcissism is huge. I heard a new thing today. It's called the try something. Is like you got Machiavellian, you got narcissism, and they're like dark triad. That's what it is. A dark triad. When you get that triad, that darkness, and it's like Anakin Skywalker. And people are possessed. Like, remember Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars?
No, I never watched Star Wars.
No. He gets possessed by the dark side, literally gets possessed. He's this sweet kid with all this potential. He's a Jedi, and the dark side took him over, became Darth Vader. He's the scariest guy you've ever seen. I was frightened of the guy, but the guy was like this kid. You realize when you see something like that people can get possessed. The Jezebel spirit takes them over. And the only solution is prayer.
That's it.
It's not going to be. By the way, I've never written a note to any of them and press enter and it comes back. I never thought of it that way, Craig.
Right.
It never happens. I always think I'm logical. I send them photos all the time. By the way, this is what your life was.
You know, because we have a guy in our small group. We do small group on Tuesday from church, and his daughter hasn't spoken to him since 2016. And we pray every Tuesday. We pray for them. And we had an issue with our youngest son and his wife, and it was one of those where she didn't speak to us. And I told my son, I said, you know, I've upset a lot of people. I've made a lot of people angry in my life, but I've always known why. You know, so I could make amends. I could say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said I would say I'm sorry if I knew what it was. Your wife is a mystery to me. I mean, we really have done everything we could to bring her into the family, make her part of this family. And it was very funny. One night we were praying at dinner with the grandkids, and we prayed. We always pray for them, Jenny and Ryan.
Yeah.
And you know, that God would, you know, cover them and keep them at peace and whatever. And my granddaughter goes, even mommy? You know? So you imagine what they say about us when in front of the kids when we're not around.
Yeah.
I've never held a grudge with her. So all we did was let go, and we prayed every Tuesday for a year and a half. And out of nowhere, October last year, my son calls me and says, we'd like to spend Thanksgiving with you. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, we had already adopted another family. The year before, we went, first time in our life, we went to somebody else's house for Thanksgiving.
You never know when it's going to happen.
You don't, you know, and then Christmas, we had Thanksgiving, we had a great time, and he calls us first week in December. He says, "Is it all right if we spend Christmas with you, son? You're welcome here anytime you want."
Yeah.
You know, we love you guys. We've always loved you guys. We just, you know, we wanted to give you your space. We wanted to let you know that, but it was a mystery, an absolute mystery. Now the one up in Montana, it's all politics. It's all politics.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I want to bring back the days you went into a voting booth and no one knew who you voted for.
Well, that was
I love that.
I used to talk about it on stage. I said, "Look, I don't do politics because nobody cares what I think." But I lived in a day when you'd vote on Tuesday, golf on Wednesday, and some guy go, "Who'd you vote for?" I go, "So and so." I voted for the other guy. Oh, it's your shot. That was it.
That's it.
That was it.
It's
until 4 more years went by.
How divided we are right now. I've never seen anything like it.
Nothing like it.
And that's why I'm bringing, the only thing I can bring is laughter.
That's it.
And I bring that to these Facebook people who are arguing, they're angry, they're spitting back and forth. And I say, all you have power over, you don't have power over who's elected. Right. You only have power over yourself and your happiness.
Yeah.
And I just can't even believe how people are so teeming with resentment and anger and blame. It's the blame and victimhood. It's taken over our society.
I hate to keep bringing up my book.
Yeah.
But I'm going to plug it in. Are we there yet? Soon to be a television show. I wrote about in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was speaking in San Francisco at an AA thing. Oh, I mentioned it again. It's so funny to me. I get hammered online for mentioning AA on my podcast, at the level of press, radio, and films.
You notice
and
I have not mentioned it.
Well, I will say this, but I know because you're a purist. But it cracks me up. I said, what should I say then? 12-step group. So if I mention I'm an alcoholic and I'm in a 12-step group, you think anybody would put those two together? So anyway, I'm in there. Michael Pritchard. Remember Michael Pritchard?
Of course.
Yeah, just this big, lovable, huge, humongous guy, right? So anyway, we're backstage getting ready to speak, and I tell him, I said, I've been sober now 5 or 6 years, and I said, I've never been more miserable in my life. He goes, how much news do you watch?
Yep.
And I said, not much, 6-7 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was all headline news. There wasn't even a Fox then. And he said, I'll tell you, he told me a story that, and I may have told this on the podcast, so the 9 of you who watch this thing, you can send me.
So you're self-deprecating? That's what.
Yeah. So anyway, he says, I'm in South America.
18 people.
I'm in South America.
Yeah.
And I'm a backslidden Catholic. And I hear the Pope is in town. Who doesn't want to see the Pope? So I go to the fairground, wherever he was at. And at one point, the Pope says, let's pray. 250,000 people on their knees praying. And Michael tells me, it really is one of the most profound moments of my life. Something washed over me. I go back to my room that night. CNN covered the 14 or 15 protesters that were calling. And I realized the camera's that big around. And it's whatever the news director. And my line was always, if you got a paradigm that's if it bleeds, it leads. What good could come out of that?
What good could come out of it?
So anyway, he said, I'll tell you what, man, just shut the stuff off, And I realized, a therapist told me this, because I said, I don't understand why I'm so angry, whatever, And she said, we tend to look outside of ourselves for the way we feel inside of ourselves, to validate. Anger is not a normal state of mind. Resentment. God didn't design us to be angry and resentful.
We're born love, light, and laughter.
So if we're that way, there has to be a reason.
Yep.
So now we look outside of ourselves externally to validate the internal. Politics is perfect. So people come to you.
Social media is perfect.
Well, but people come to you and they
Algorithms.
look at your life and they go, you got this job you love. I mean, you check the boxes. I got the job I love. I got the wife that's beautiful. She loves me.
Yeah.
I got the kids that are healthy. I got grandkids. I got all this stuff. Why are you so miserable? Them.
That's exactly right.
If it wasn't for them,
if
it wasn't for him or her or whatever, I would be at peace.
The news companies literally choose what they need you to watch, and they get you in fear, and then the drug company sponsors the news that handles the anxiety they just gave you. That's the cycle. They give you the anxiety. Oh, there's an anxiety pill. I feel terrible. One of the first things I do when I conduct these guided laughabitations is I say, get off the news. That's your big tip.
Yeah.
The news will serve no good purpose. I had a thing. I went to Zion Healing Center.
What do you say to people who go, I want to be informed?
That's what my mom says. She goes, how are you supposed to know? I go, you're only knowing what they want you to know, and how has it ever served a purpose for you? Do you tell me one single time that a news item ever did anything to uplift your life or do something different with your life? And by the way, if you need to know there's a war going on, you're going to hear it anyway. You're going to hear it anyway. It's going to.
And then again, what can I do about it?
Exactly. The
I
important
can buy
stuff,
a war bond.
The important stuff is going to get there. And by the way, the pandemic, we all saw what happened there. We got trapped with the news, and they told us lies. They absolutely lied to us, and we became idiots driving alone with a mask on. Remember those geniuses? How about the nose sticking out of the mask? It's like putting a condom on your testicles. Yeah. What in the world happened to us? We became completely just allowing them to dictate our.
Tammy crocheted me a mask so I could push my almonds through it.
So I went to Zion Healing Center. That's one of the things I brought to them. It's mostly recovery, people in recovery, and this woman was brand new in recovery. And I take them these exercises, these laughabitations, and you just literally volunteer yourself to do it with me. See, that's a pathway.
I've been doing it the whole show. You haven't said one funny thing to me. So,
That's funny. So it's voluntary laughter, and your body doesn't know the difference if it's real or fake, and it becomes real anyway. So I say out loud what your issue is. And she says out loud her daughter doesn't speak to her. And I can always feel God's presence. I don't know about you. When I'm present, and thank God I'm not doing this to take myself away from that. And I proclaimed at that moment, I go, your daughter's going to speak to you now, because she shifted her vibration and her frequency into this beautiful divineness. That's what she's putting out to the universe, as opposed to fear, angst, worry, blame. And the next day, I got a text.
Hey, really?
Next day, their daughter contacted her. Next day. She goes, that chuckle, I'll show you on Instagram. She
texted her and said, you laughing at me? I amuse you.
She must have felt it. But that's how powerful God is.
I believe that.
And we have a pathway to God going through laughter. People don't talk about that as much as I believe they should. It's all over the Bible. A merry heart doeth good.
Yeah.
I don't think laughter gets as much credit as it should. And everybody's serious when they go to church. There's no reason.
Not our church.
Pastor Rob, he's hilarious. He's always doing comedy, does impressions.
I couldn't go to a church that.
It's time to celebrate. I say, the word "ha" is very spiritual. What do you say when you're celebrating? Hallelujah. Hallelujah, baby. Haagen-Dazs. I like that too. So it's something that I believe we need to spread. That's my whole goal in life. That's all I care about in my life right now, is I want to spread this joy, spread this laughter, and spread the pathway to get there. It's like a bullet train. You can go right to the Holy Spirit, just like that. Well, it's another form of prayer, by the way.
It is.
It's an active form of prayer, because you're activating all of your body. I've done prayer and meditation before. I remember meditating a few weeks ago. My back hurts. You know what I mean? I don't like this. My back. If you're laughing, not thinking about anything, you're not in any pain. By the way, you're not in any physical pain, emotional
Let me ask
pain.
you this: do you watch comedy much?
No.
See, I never did for 20 years. I never watched.
I take it back. Stand-up comedy. Once in a while, I'll see, this a popular person. I might check it. I actually watched the Kevin Hart roast. Not my jam.
Yeah.
No, it's just the attacking people. It's just really.
Yeah, I didn't even turn that one on.
I almost do it as a fascination, and I also know I was very popular one time. I did very well. I'm Comedian of the Year, American Comedy Awards. By the way, it was the loneliest night of my life.
Really?
The loneliest night. It was an ABC.
Where was your wife?
I wasn't married.
Oh, you weren't married?
No, I was so lonely. I won this. It was the biggest award. Seinfeld won before it. Ellen DeGeneres, Jeff Foxworthy. I thought, I'm going to get a show about a gay redneck and a show about nothing. I'm going to make it. This is how you're going to. And ABC, Lily Tomlin presents it to me with Roseanne, and that even backstage, instantly, my old friend Rosie O'Donnell like kind of dissed me. No comedians walking up to the other one and celebrating you. It's the opposite. They resent you. Now you have a target on your back, and I felt it right away. Oh yeah, I got to be. I'm the new Jeff Dunham, Carrot Top. I'm the joke, the butt of the joke. He doesn't deserve that, because comics, it's a low vibration community a lot of times. And I walked into the comedy store with my trophy, and they just tore me apart. And I never felt so lonely. I didn't know where to go. I had this free limousine.
Sorry, man. We got a limo.
They gave me a limo, of course. I'm like, well, here I am, a tuxedo.
Well, that's so funny.
Nobody to hang out with, because nobody can really feel for you. They're not going to really have that, especially comics. At that time, comics weren't as close. Also,
well, it's
they're
funny.
Not going to celebrate you.
It's funny you say that. I've always wanted to get in the position I'm in now, where I could draw an audience. Mm-hmm. Never been there my entire career. So I'm finally starting to work theaters. And I've always had this image of what working inside a theater would be like. Well, one night I'm sitting in the dressing room waiting to go on. It's just me and my little bowl of fruit. And, and I took a film and I go, me and my entourage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Got in the car after the show. I got in the car and I said, me and my entourage are going to dinner now.
Yeah.
Nobody's there.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I had just started back up with therapy, and one of the reasons, he says, why are you here? I said, well, there's a couple of reasons, but one of them is I'm lonely.
Yeah.
I said, I have all this here in Nashville that feeds me enough to go out on the road for 5 or 6 days and be alone. But I don't think people understand. And again, I'm not complaining. I believe me, I love what I do. You love what you do. You wouldn't do it. You don't need to do it. But I love that hour and a half. That's why you do an hour and a half. That's why I do an hour and 15.
Because you're in your glory.
I just love it.
Yeah.
I love meeting the people afterwards.
Same here, yeah.
I just love
I
shaking
just
their
went through
hands,
it in
taking
Pittsburgh,
pictures with
and
them.
it was it's a connection that is like no other.
Yeah.
I had a moment in actually Pittsburgh a year ago, and also one the week before in Philadelphia. 2 different theaters. There were theaters, or did you say theater?
She's funny.
You should edit that out. If I was booking a theater, I wouldn't book him. It's just if he called and said, "I want to work your theater," I would just
really, because
just
she makes fun of it all the time.
The way you pronounce that,
That's
I would.
a theater.
You're not coming in my venue.
A theater. It's theater.
It's theater, right?
You say roof or roof?
Roof.
It's roof.
I make kind of a Chicago accent.
Yeah, that was like, I'm sure you're a fan of the Peter Sellers Pink Panther.
I like Peter Sellers, but I was more Being There.
Well, I love
one of the most amazing
I
movies
love the,
ever. You ever see Being There? Oh, it's a classic.
I've never seen Pink Panther.
I was not that big of a Pink Panther guy.
Well, I love the scene where he was the Minky, and the guy goes, Minky. Yeah, Minky.
the Minky.
And the Minky.
Minky.
And the guy goes, oh, monkey. He goes, so they said you.
It's a Minky.
It's a Minky.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a Minky.
I do remember that one. Being There was such a classic. I turn my kids on to classic movies, and and when they like it, I have a
Monty Python was
16-year-old.
for me and my kids.
When they with the
yeah.
with the coconut
Well,
shells.
I used to-
my kids. I was so surprised that they were that sophisticated. 12-year-old and 16-year-old. But the one I couldn't believe he liked was Shawshank Redemption. He turned to me because this is a great.
It's a great movie, though.
I could do Morgan Freeman. You ready?
Yeah.
In 1966, Andy Dufresne escaped Shawshank prison. All they found was a set of their prison clothes, a bar of soap, and an old rock hammer nearly worn down to the nub. Andy.
That's great.
I do some impressions. I used to do only impressions.
I used to tell the story about couldn't wait till my kids were of age to turn them on to Monty Python. So my oldest comes in. We're sitting there laughing, howling. And then my youngest was 4 years behind. So we finally get to sit down, the 3 of us. And in the middle of the most classic scene in a Monty Python movie, my youngest kid goes, flesh wound. His alarm came off. And I said, go to bed. You're lucky you look like me.
It's just the flesh wound.
Yeah.
One of the things I do when I do these laugh baths or guided laughitation is I actually say to them, because they say, well, you're a comedian, you can be funny. I go, anyone can be funny. You know how they can be funny? Watch how easy it is. Name a funny movie and a quote from the movie. The whole place shifts. If one person will go, planes, trains, automobiles, those aren't pillows. Right? See?
Right.
Automatic laugh. That's all you got to do is quote the movie. So I have people realize I bring out people's sense of humor. I call it the 7th sense, which we don't work as our 7th sense is a sense of humor. And people do not work on their sense of humor. We taste and smell and everything else. I said, why don't you develop that more? And this is the way to do it. I said, so next time you all come in here from one of these laugh baths or whatever we're doing, bring your funny movies and your quotes, and it's amazing. The whole place. I remember that one because you're bringing back a great memory. It's like a meme. You're bringing back a memory for people when they watch that movie the first time. You mentioned Sleepers. I remember.
Blazing Saddles, The Jerk.
Oh my God. Oh,
The Jerk was like 62-minute sketches.
I was born a poor black child.
My favorite one was when he hates cans.
You see how we laugh just at the quotes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is you can be funny. Just talk about something that makes you laugh and makes other people. It's a contagious thing. You're setting a new energy in the room, without bringing up who you voted for or who you're mad at or what or who you fear. They're going to tell you who to fear. It's a different enemy every day.
Yeah, fear is
here it comes. False evidence appearing real.
I think it's 2 Timothy 1:7. God did not give us the spirit of fear, but the power of love and a sound mind.
Exactly.
But you can't have the love without the sound mind. You need to be able to separate fear from the rest of it. You have to, and that goes into what Aristotle said: an unexamined life is not worth living. If you're not going to take the time to step back, take a look at, and self-examine. That's the thing that I become aware of more than anything is just the lack of awareness so many human beings have.
Well, we're caught up. We're just
it is.
It's an addiction. It's literally.
And then if you get caught into the bubble where you got thousands and millions of followers or whatever, again.
And the algorithm feeds you, and then you become mindless. I'm about presence, consciousness, mindfulness. And I love being there.
That's what I
telling
love
you a
about the game of golf.
So,
I mean, really, just being on a golf course with three guys now. I used to get wrapped up in scores and numbers and things.
yeah.
And now, this morning I played 9 with the pro out there. I'm going, by the way, I got he's getting inducted into the Tennessee Golf Hall of Fame tonight, so he was kind enough to invite me.
I want to.
But I was playing with him and his son. His son is on the Corn Ferry tour, and
Wow.
Bob used to play the regular tour, the PGA Tour. 2 pars from winning the Greater Greensboro Open.
Wow.
And really good players. But watching the father and son interact, it was hysterical because his kid is just, I mean, he's pounding at 320, and Bob can't hit it out of his shadow anymore.
Yeah.
He goes, Bob goes, look at that, dead straight. He goes, you don't put enough spin on it to curve it. So watching these 2 guys trash talk, I said to Tammy when I got home, I said, I really wished my sons had taken up the game just for that 4 or 5 hours where you just get out, you forget about everything, and you just cut up and trash talk but I'm going to hopefully spend the rest of my days at least on the golf course with people I love, and enjoy the outdoors, enjoy everything else.
It's very zen. If you let it be, if you surrender.
Yeah.
I call ego. I have an acronym: evading growth opportunity. You're always, every time you're not going to God and you're going to ego, what it looks like, what it sounds like, your image, you're done. You're done. You're evading your own chance to learn something, to grow and to change and evolve. We're here to evolve. One of my evolutions is pure on have to laugh more. We have to have more of it.
Yeah.
That's why that is, so I was telling you about
during COVID, I never watched comedy. That's when we started the conversation.
Yeah.
And I started watching comedy during
stand-ups
COVID.
or comedies?
Stand-ups.
You did?
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you, the day I asked you to, I got in touch with, I swear this is true. It's crazy how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
Boom, you popped up on my TV automatically. You're
Really?
special at Dry Bar. I couldn't believe it. There you were. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, my God.
I still wouldn't watch, but still.
I know. That was my dad. My dad was so funny. Near the end of his life, he goes, I was surfing around. I saw you on TV the other night. I go, yeah. And was it good? He goes, I didn't watch.
There's a reason.
And he was dead serious.
Your dad's different. There's a reason I don't watch. And as a matter of fact, it was proven by watching you. I don't want to be influenced. And you and I are around the same age.
Right.
Same perspective, frustrated with society. And I'm going, he's going there. I turn it off. I don't want to ever think that I came up with a joke that I heard.
That's kind of why
if somebody's really different, though, like last night, I knew they were all going to be different because of this Kevin Hart thing, because it's nasty. It's really like raw and just out shocking each other. It's just shock. That's not my thing. I was going to tell you about the time on stage in Pittsburgh and one time in Philadelphia at these 2 theaters. It was it for me. You know what it was? Did I say theater?
Theater. Oh my gosh.
Did I say? I had a little combination. Theaters.
I didn't mean to mess your head up.
I have never experienced this in tens of thousands of shows, probably, right?
Yeah.
I felt the most bliss I've ever had on stage, where I wasn't thinking about the next joke and I wasn't thinking about the one I just told. True in the now.
Isn't that a great place?
It's only twice.
Really?
My whole career. Look, I had like wonderful moments. One after the last night. Yeah. I mean, just a roll. But it's still like, This was like, I was able to take it in and thank God. I was able to really go, wow, thank you. And that was to me really what it was all about. All the career of, I'm going to get attention. I'm going to get the waitress's number. Oh, the people that didn't go to the prom with me will be upset, because I'm famous and everything else. And all those thoughts that I had that drove me was all gone. And I just was in that moment of absolute beautiful tranquility. And I've never had that before, because it's like, what's next? And I'm firing away and I'm doing my hour and a half and there's the timer and all that stuff is on your mind. And I said, take this in. This is why you did this. This is why you entered this business. This is why you making people laugh. And I was just feeling their beautiful energy coming back to me. And it's exchanged. Yeah. It's an exchange of energy that's so beautiful, indescribable.
It is.
for anybody that hasn't been on a stage, especially the level that we became. And by the way, the awards mean nothing. You know what my best award is? I won Emmy Awards, and you were talking about the stuff I've done and all that. I found out those are the loneliest times. I was drunk when I won the Emmys. I fell off the stage, literally fell off the stage drunk. And do you know the best best award I have? I have a trophy. I won the Horse's Ass Award at my ex-wife's family reunion. It's a horse's ass. A gold, bronze horse's ass. It's just a half a horse's part, just the ass. And I won that at that reunion. And that is, when the fires happened last 2 years ago or last year, it's the only thing I got, and my Tim McCarver ball. Those are the two things that I got because they were irreplaceable. I can never win the Horse's Ass Award at her reunion again because I won't be invited to the reunion. But to me, that's so symbolic of the stuff. The other stuff is from outside. That's the outside world.
So did you lose your house during the fire?
What's that? No, I evacuated. And here's something I did that was very, you were talking about, take that, you didn't say pause, but I call it spiritus, a Latin word for breath. I take that breath. And it's like the prayer. It's like the contrary action prayer, you bring, anyway, I took a breath and I invited my ex-wife to the beach house where I evacuated. She lived with us for a few days because that's what God told me to do.
Wow.
Get over all the stuff that she did to me. She stole $1 million, cheat, lie, steal, all this.
This is the one that's with the guru.
Horrible,
right?
horrible stuff. I mean, I gave everything to that marriage. Yeah, I was the breadwinner. One time we're at the mall. She goes, "I lost my purse." I said, "I'm right here." So that was another moment when I made that call to her. Here's a moment like God's testing you. You're a fire, your place might go up. And I grabbed the trophy, the horse's ass. I grabbed the ball.
That's so funny.
I threw that stuff in the back seat, and I had this beach house.
So you left the Emmy Award. You left.
I left the Emmy Awards. I left the article about me in New York Times. 10 photographs. By the way,
I think your ex should be honored that of all of the stuff that horse's ass award.
That was the other ex. I had another ex, maybe worse.
Yeah.
So I draw it in. I always have to look. And I actually had a conversation with myself today or yesterday. Is this karma? These repeats of patterns. I'm a rescuer too. I've always tried to rescue. My mom, I wrote letters to Paul Lynn. Remember him?
Yeah.
I thought he would be with my mom. I thought we'd be the first father and son team on Hollywood Squares. He would adopt me. Take it, son. It's a sports question. This is my dreams I had. And what's weird about this also how God works. I could not wait to be on Hollywood Squares. I lived for that show. And Paul Lynn, I wanted to be my father. I ended up on 75 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. The only problem is I'm not a known celebrity. I was always Craig Shoemaker to block. I was always to block. Never just choose me first. One time I'm looking at a monitor.
Well, it's so funny too because Robin Williams was. It's interesting to me that a lot of impressionists have similar upbringings to yours.
He was an only child, right?
Yeah, he was, and he used to. I read where he used to be holed up. It was really wealthy. Lived in a very West Bloomfield, Michigan, where the auto execs lived and stuff. So he created all these imaginary things,
characters.
And it's interesting that you,
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
But it was literally to deal with pain. I remember in 4th grade.
So you make kids laugh.
That was a rough.
Kept you from getting beat up.
Same here. And this is when it happened. This was my big moment where God literally spoke to me, maybe for the first time that I could hear it. I was beaten up. I was moved to a new neighborhood. They hated me. It was a kind of wealthier neighborhood, and so they're rich kids. They'll attack you if you have. I had all hand-me-down clothes.
Right.
I like a pair of pants, and I tore the pants. I learned how to sew. That's the thing is when you're poor, you got to work things and be resilient. You got to learn stuff. I had to learn how to sew. So I'm on the bathroom floor of 4th grade, 10 years old, sewing my pants, and a rich kid saw me. Oh, I got humiliated. I had a little thimble. I'm sewing. And I went back in that room. There he is, the poor kid. And then weeks later, I told a story. I made it into like a book. I used to I wouldn't read the book. I would just make up stories like a book. I'd make up a book. But I did tell a real story about my mom beating me up. And I couldn't believe the response. I broke a vase and she beat me like really bad. And I'm telling the story, and I'm watching all these people who hate me are paying attention to me and they're laughing. It was magical. I'm going, oh my God. I started to exaggerate. I go, I was a pinata. A Snickers bar popped out. Blah. They're laughing. Unbelievable feeling. That first feeling, like a hit. And the teacher, she goes, he's not going to do this in my class. The next day, she took blue yarn out of her desk and tied my hands behind my back like a hostage and put me in a supply closet for a whole day.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's like a hostage. Had my wrists bound behind me at 10 years old. And I'm on that box. She goes, don't you get off that box. I remember looking in the vent. I'd see her fat thighs come over with her plaid skirt, and I'd jump back on the box. You didn't get up, did you? I didn't. It was always defiant. And that's the day that God spoke to me. She says, you'll think about this. You'll never do it again. And God said, yes, you will. Yes, you will. You're going to spread this gift. You're going to spread laughter throughout the world. And that was a true moment that God speaks to us. Holy Spirit speaks to us. And that was the moment where it was undeniable. And she caused that by bringing pain to me, which I transformed and transmuted into great pleasure and into a career.
It's pretty common that when God is ready to use someone, he'll break them first, crush them first, put them through the fire, and then you come out of it this beautiful butterfly. Man.
Sometimes I go, come on, God, another lesson.
Right.
Really?
Do I need another
She
one?
joined a cult? Yeah. Really? She's into beating and she has a podcast about being beaten and choked for sexual pleasure. My kids could hear this podcast. Really? That's what you're going to do? And I try to confront her. She knows how to. These narcissists or these people, they know how they can ignore you. Doesn't matter how logical you are, how you're trying to say we should be better for the kids. Nope. No, they'll double and triple down.
Right.
And that's when I got to go. Walk away. Let go. Let go, let God.
That's it.
That's what the surrender has always been the greatest victory for me.
Well, to me, the serenity prayer is the one that keeps me in good stead with everything, because I either can control it or I can't.
Well, you can find me on Instagram. I'm locked at the 57,000. I can't get another. Maybe after being on your show, I cannot get any more followers on there.
57,600.
You are?
No, I'm talking. You'll get to 57,600.
Oh, okay. Official Craig Shoemaker. And by the way, it's Shoemaker, not Schumacher. People look at my name, you go, Schumacher. I go, Shoemaker. You make shoes. You don't mock shoes unless they're Crocs. Those you can mock. You know what the holes are for? So your self-esteem can slip out. So, I have 5 pair because I don't care anymore.
Yeah, my grandson is. We buy him every time he visits. We buy him a pair.
Well, yeah. Write to me, slide in my DMs, tell me you've heard me on here. And if
do you have a fan page on Facebook?
Yeah, I've got a fan page on Facebook. That's got, I don't know, 20, 50,000, whatever. Yeah. And then I've got my personal Facebook. That's the one I'm into the most. That's
have you ever hired a social media person?
Yeah. They're never going to get it like you know what I mean? They're never going to deliver. What I do is I hire an opener.
Because you have.
And I have someone open for me for like 10, 15 minutes. I put them in front. I like to tell them this is the deal. Like they should charge me less because you're going to be in front of A rooms, A audiences, A bookers, like the top people. You're now going to expand your career. Look what it did for Dave Chappelle when he opened for me. He did okay. But I'm Whitney Cummings used to tour with me and sell my merchandise. But if you put your time in working with a headliner, allow yourself to be mentored, get the ego out of it and all that. And it's always women, by the way. I've really supported women in comedy, big time. They're the one who's opening for me in Nashville this week. I really want to do that for women because my mom was a single mom, and I really want to do that for them. But a lot of them they get resentful, angry. They stop.
But
Carolyn said that, not me, by the way.
But did you hear the stat about gay marriage?
Yes,
where the
women have it the worst.
The women have the highest divorce rate of all.
Yeah,
and then the men are probably the longest longevity, and then the heterosexual are like right in the middle.
Right.
And someone said, "What's the common denominator?"
It's women.
One has 2 women, one has 1 woman, and one has no women.
So, I don't even get along with digital women. I have a navigational system. It's a female voice. I made one little wrong turn. I heard the eyes roll. Rerouting.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really. I would love some help with that if you could give me some help or you find me some help.
But what you have is a library of material. You
I
have
have
specials.
hours.
That's what I brought in. I mean,
Yeah.
they were putting out videos where I had a full head of hair. It was from the early 90s.
But that's not good though, right? Because I had
it
a
is
group.
fine.
I had a group that was doing that, and
It is
I didn't
fine.
like it.
You didn't like it at all?
I want the new stuff.
Well, but it's about driving eyeballs to making people laugh.
Yeah, I guess.
And the old stuff makes people laugh.
Oh yeah,
It's still relevant.
yeah.
You're not doing political stuff.
I
from
never
the
did
90s.
current events. I always say
You're not
keep it.
doing- right.
I coach actually a lot.
It has
you
a shelf life.
You expect people to get coaching as well. Athletes are coached, actors are coached. The egos of comedians don't want to be coached. I coach because I know what to share. I share my experience, strength, and hope.
Right.
I'll tell you. Here's how I got there. Still headlining after decades.
Yeah.
Still, why? I'm going to give you the secrets, but nah, they want to go something that's trending or whatever it is, or they're self-obsessed. They don't get it. So I say, be of service to me a little bit. Help me out, and I will help you out. So a couple of them do the deal, but other ones, they go away with resentment, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, your website though, so they can get tickets.
CraigShoemaker.com.
Okay.
CraigShoemaker.com.
And
Official
you'll be
Craig.
at Zany.
Official
Well, this
Craig
won't
Shoemaker.
be out by the time you're in Zany's.
Yeah, I have a lot of dates coming up, but mostly I'm into, I wish for people to come to my retreats. That's my new thing. I like retreats. I love you to come to the retreat, be a guest. The retreats are all about laughter and joy. Living in joy. I have one coming up in Sedona. I have one coming up outside LA.
Sedona. I love Sedona.
Yeah,
I had a company hire me to speak on a mountain in Sedona
Yeah,
for
this is-
14 employees.
This is a beautiful resort called Mago. It's 10 miles off the road. You have to go to dirt road.
Oh, yeah.
And there's 2 vortexes there. So you can really, really feel such a power. And I'm going to do laughitation, chuckle chatter, drum circles, all these things to really shift our vibration into a positive way. This is what I want to do, by the way, instead of performing. I don't want to be the performer. I want to be the guide and guide people into this new realm of possibility, this new potency that you're going to release. I believe we're so potent, but we tamp it down by watching news, by getting caught in algorithms, by getting caught in gossip, the narratives that we're believing that aren't true, going with gurus and things like empowering people that should never be empowered. We got the one power, right?
Right.
So that's what I want to do, is celebrate life, do these techniques that I've developed through the years, and I think that's why I'm here.
Very cool, man.
What is the website for that?
CraigShoemaker.com and LaughterHeals.com. I own Laughter Heals for 20 years in honor of my friend Golds,
Oh, my
who had the
gosh.
brain cancer. He finally passed away after 15 years. But to honor him, this is why I do this work. I go to hospitals, aftercare facilities, wounded warriors. I help all these people find laughter in their lives, and it makes everything better. Makes
does.
everything better.
Does. I hope you enjoyed this.
I hope I made a couple.
Oh,
laughs.
man. We had
Couple
this
chuckles?
this is great. I'm going to have to pick your brain to get some more comics in here.
I actually have already been thinking of people to come in, not necessarily comics. I've got some really good guests who actually live in Nashville.
Oh.
I'm friends with musicians.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much. Reads, subscribe, please subscribe and comment. It moves the algorithms, even if you hate us. Just write all your hateful stuff, and we'll take it. Ignore it, but we'll take it. And thank you, Hayden, our sound engineer here. He's new, and Christian is coming back, or no, or
Yeah.
oh, Christian will be back. Okay, and then Carolyn, the recovering Californian. You love her videos, you know you do, and we love her. And her son's got the brand new
Mini Cooper. Yeah.
So cool, man. Anyway, we'll see you until next time. God bless you guys. I'll be out on the road. Check the website, jeffallancomedy.com. I'm coming to 110 different cities this year, so I'll be there. God bless you guys. Thank you.